Across the wilds of Cyrodiil, hiding under trees, bushes, and ruins, the world of Oblivion boasts an impressive collection of mushrooms. Fungi that thrive in shadow, grow in strange places, and in some cases, stink. But what if I told you many of these mushrooms weren't just fantasy? That they were based closely on real-life species that grow in our own world? This video, while diving deep into both Tamrielic lore and real-world mycology, will hopefully serve as a reminder that even the strangest corners of Tamriel have roots in the natural world, that fantasy, at its best, reflects our own reality. So without further ado, we'll be diving into all 16 mushrooms found in Oblivion and comparing their in-game designs to the real-world fungi that inspired them. Let's start with one of Oblivion's strangest specimens, the bog beacon. Tall and slender, these mushrooms rise like lampposts from the swampy terrain, with yellow bulbs adorning their slim stalks. In Oblivion Remastered, they even attract lightning bugs at night, a detail not present in the original game. By estimating the height of my character and then superimposing a grid over an image of my character and the mushroom I wish to measure, I was able to record an approximate height for every mushroom in the game. The bog beacon, at its tallest, came in at 120 centimeters. Their real-world counterpart is Mushrooms of Oblivion, a rare fungus found in bogs and swamps. This fungus, in reality, barely reaches 4 centimeters in height and just 3 millimeters in width, a far cry from the towering tendrils of Cyrodiil. Bog beacons are fairly uncommon, growing almost exclusively in the swamps of Blackwood, and even there appearing only sparingly. Mushrooms of Oblivion is even rarer on Earth. Very little is known about them, but that mystery, perhaps, only deepens their allure. Next up is the cairn bolete, a pale giant of a mushroom. Like all true boletes, the cairn bolete has pores instead of gills, a detail correctly reflected in its in-game model. It's commonly found growing in caves across Cyrodiil, something real-world mushrooms don't generally do. Stranger still, it even appears underwater in Greenmead Cave. While there is one known species of real-world mushroom that can grow underwater, it is extremely rare. In game 2, this is a one-time phenomenon. Do all cairn boletes possess this ability? Like I said, no mushroom grows in caves as a rule, but the cairn bolete does bear a strong resemblance to Boletus barosi, the pale, thick-capped white king bolete. In-game, NPCs sometimes claim these mushrooms grow where someone has died, but that's just a rumor. Probably. Only 16 cairn boletes can be found outside of a cave, 14 of which are found in the Arcane University. Next, we'll move on to the cinnabar polypore. Bright red and shelf-like, this mushroom is based on Pycnoporus cinnabarinus, a real bracket fungus known for its vivid pigmentation and its production of cinnabarinic acid, which helps defend it against microbes. While the real fungus rarely exceeds 12 centimeters in width, the Oblivion version is significantly larger, at 35 centimeters, nearly triple the size. In-game, there are 2 varieties, red and yellow. In real life, the species is not known to consistently grow yellow, but sun bleaching could produce this effect. In the remaster, the overworld texture of the mushroom is the same whether it yields red or yellow caps, but they are easily distinguishable in the original. In Cyrodiil, these mushrooms are found almost exclusively along the easternmost banks of the West Weald. They'll take some searching, but they aren't too rare. The clouded funnel cap. It's based on Clethocybe nebularis, a pale gray fungus with a distinctive, skunky, gassy odor. Though technically edible, it's known to cause serious gastrointestinal distress in some people. These mushrooms can commonly be found throughout large areas of Cyrodiil, including, fittingly, higher altitude areas such as the Colovian Highlands, the Jural Mountains, and the Volus Mountains. They are also quite common in Blackwood. Next, we have a mushroom that is unharvestable and not named in-game, the turkey tail. Scientifically known as Trametes versicolor, a fitting name for this multicolored mushroom, which famously boasts distinctive concentric bands of various colors on its cap. The turkey tail in real life is an incredibly common bracket fungus that can grow in clusters ranging from several to a few hundred. While not edible in the culinary sense, turkey tail is highly prized in medicine, often brewed into immune-supporting teas and extracts. These mushrooms can be found growing all throughout Cyrodiil, on the logs of felled trees. In the original Oblivion, there appear to be multiple species of bracket fungi growing on these felled trees, but they are too indistinct to ID them. In the remaster, turkey tail is the only species that appears like this. Next on the list is the steel blue entoloma. Tinged with metallic blue, the steel blue entoloma is based on Entoloma nitidium, also known as the pine pink gill. Young entolomas have white gills, which slowly turn pink as they mature. In-game, the models do in fact show what can assume to be this transitional phase. This is one of the consistently smaller mushrooms in-game, and in real life these mushrooms are tiny. Caps rarely exceed 4 centimeters, with stems no taller than 6. These mushrooms can be found all throughout the Great Forest, as far south as the Gold Road. A personal favorite of mine, the green stain cup is inspired by Chlorosaboria aeruginascens, a fungus known for the vibrant green stain it leaves on decaying wood. This vivid concave shroom can be found all over Blackwood, the eastern reaches of the Nibene Valley and the Nibene Basin, and then all throughout the areas surrounding the Imperial City, except directly west of the city. And then there's the green stain shelf, a fictional variation with seemingly no real-world equivalent, at least not that I could find. The green stain shelf is easily the rarest mushroom in all of Cyrodiil and can be found only at very specific locations, shown here on the screen. The famous fly amanita in Oblivion stands at 43 centimeters tall, with a cap 30 centimeters wide, an exaggerated version of its real-world counterpart, Amanita muscaria. In nature, its red and white dotted caps range from 8 to 20 centimeters, and stems reach up to 20 centimeters tall. This iconic red mushroom with white spots is both famous and widespread, often growing in rings. This mushroom is known to be poisonous, but psychoactive and non-toxic if prepared correctly. The fly amanita is quite common in Cyrodiil, found in the West Weald, the Nibene Valley, the Great Forest, uncommonly in the Heartland, and even dotted all around the Imperial City itself. Next up, the stinkhorn is grotesque and fascinating. Based on the real-life octopus stinkhorn, this fungi grows in 2 stages. First, as an egg, and then growing arms that unfurl like tentacles, giving it its name. When mature, it is said to smell of rotting or putrid flesh, attracting insects that spread its spores. Where the game gives us a towering 110 centimeter mushroom, the real one maxes out at around 10. Still, in both worlds this fungus is hard to forget. The arms of the stinkhorn are covered in brownish black slime that contains the spores and its signature odor. Like the bog beacon, this fungus is found almost exclusively in Blackwood. This next one's a little different. Found only in caves, wisp stalks are a mystery. No clear real-world equivalent exists of this slender, clustering cave fungus, though Mycena inclinata, the clustering bonnet, comes close. The inclinata tend to darken at the base and cluster tightly, details mirrored in the remastered Oblivion models, but the original model does not darken at the base. Their strange habitat gives them an otherworldly feel, which might be the point. Strangely, extremely large wisp stalks can be found in a Melion tomb, coming in at 198 centimeters, or about 6'8". This large variety is mysteriously found all over inside the tomb, but nowhere else in the game. These mushrooms are found exclusively inside of caves. They do not grow anywhere in the open. In fact, this is the only harvestable mushroom in the game. It cannot be found in the Arcane University's gardens. Moving on, the plump, tan-colored summer bolete of Cyrodiil is a direct reference to Boletus reticulatus, also known as the summer sep. With a cap up to 30 centimeters wide and a meaty texture, it's said to taste especially good. In Cyrodiil, it can be found all around the areas near the Imperial City, as far northwest as the Heartland, all around in the Great Forest, and wrapping down south and then west into the eastern side of the Nibene Valley, and then across the water to the western side of the valley as well, all the way up to the southern base of the Volus Mountains. This mushroom is extremely common where it grows. This speckled bracket mushroom, the dryad's saddle, is known for a smell reminiscent of cucumbers or watermelon rind. It's edible when young, though older specimens are woody and hard. In real life, the Cereoporus squamosus that it is based on can reach up to 60 centimeters in width, making it one of the few mushrooms to outdo its in-game variant. This bracket fungus is ubiquitous and often appears on decaying hardwood. This mushroom is found only in a few disparate locations, being nearly as rare as the green stain shelf. In addition, this mushroom is misspelled as dryad's saddle in-game, in both the original and the remaster. Our next mushroom is one of the smallest in the game. Tiny, bright red, and distinctively shaped like a teacup. Elf cups seem like something out of a fairy tale. Sarcosipha coccinea, or the scarlet elf cup, is found across Europe and North America in early spring. In-game, this mushroom is found nearly exclusively in the easternmost shores of the Westweald, in the same habitat as the cinnabar polypore. Our next mushroom is an especially fun one. This mushroom's bright red cap hides a potent gastrointestinal irritant. The emetic russula, scientific name Russula emetica, is also known as the sickener. That's because these mushrooms are infamous for causing vomiting. The word emetic actually means to cause vomiting, in case you were wondering. Its taste is described as sharply peppery, a natural warning sign before the more serious symptoms follow. I wouldn't want to be the guy who found that out. This is another mushroom found in the Westweald. Last is the distinctive tinder polypore, or Fomes fomentarius, which is a tough, hoof-shaped bracket fungus that grows slowly over many years and causes heart rot in trees as a parasite. Its fruiting body is extremely hard, too tough to eat, but historically prized for its practical use as tinder. Otzi the Iceman carried a piece with him over 5,000 years ago, likely for survival. As an additional fun fact, did you know that these mushrooms have been used to make artisanal hats? Yes, fungus hats in Romania, Bohemia, and Hungary. Picture on the screen if you're curious what they look like. Oblivion gives it a respectful 30 centimeter width, well within the real fungus's range of up to 45 centimeters, making this one of the most accurate depictions in the game. The mushroom is found in the higher altitudes of Cyrodiil, sometimes in the Jural Mountains, and abundantly in the Volus Mountains. So, there you have it, all 16 mushrooms from the world of Oblivion, most of which are surprisingly quite grounded in real-life mycology. Remember, fantasy doesn't come from nowhere. It grows, like mushrooms, out of the grounds we already know. If you like this dive into the mycology of Tamriel, give it a like, maybe subscribe, and let me know what weird fungal facts I may have missed. Next time, we'll be tackling the fungi of the Shivering Isles, a much less grounded take on the fantastical fungus of Tamriel. Until next time, this has been Brian, and this has been the Archmage's Library.